What's up everyone, I'm Sebastian Quinn, and welcome back to the Hyundai A-League review show, where I'll go through all the talking points and goals from the round just gone. And it was rather quite weak in the A-League with 7 goals scored across the 5 games, the first coming through a rather unlikely source. Luke Wilkshire getting his first league goal in over a decade, Sydney FC coming away with a 1-0 win over Melbourne City to go top of the table. The big talking point from the game, however, was Tim Cahill's early injury, which forced him from the field. He looks to have rolled his ankle but has since flown to Honduras to prepare for the Socceroos clash with the South Americans. Wilkshire grabbing their only goal of the contest with a fortunate finish into the back post. Ross McCormack should have drawn Melbourne level, but it wasn't to be as Sydney beat City for the third game running. Newcastle kept pace with both City and Sydney FC after a 3-0 win over Wellington Phoenix, the Jets now just sitting 2 points below the Sky Blues. Roy O'Donovan was once again crucial to the victory, Wellington making it easy for the Irish striker after a brain snap allowed him to grab the opener just before half-time. And he made it too just after the break, finishing with his thigh, but it was still his 7th goal for the campaign. Andrew Nabbout rounding out the game with a fantastic strike, his first in 11 games, leaving Wellington still without a win for the season. And Perth made it 2 wins in 3 games with a 1-0 victory over Adelaide United, keeper Paul Izzo almost unbeatable throughout the entire match. It could have been 1-0 early inside 5 minutes after a horrible challenge inside the box, Paul Izzo saving a rather average penalty from Diego Castro. Izzo was key throughout the game and came up big with a fantastic save in the second half. But there was nothing you could do about Andy Keogh's header with just 10 minutes remaining, Adelaide still without a win since round 2. It was the battle of the cellar dwellers with Brisbane hosting Central Coast Mariners, and it played out just as expected, a 0-0 draw rather underwhelming for the Suncorp crowd. Macaroni had an early chance with a header that was fortunately deflected. He came close once again but couldn't put his shot on target after Ben Kennedy came rushing out. Yet another defensive brainstab should have gifted Danny De Silva the opener, but he couldn't oblige. Asdrubal unable to control the ball in the final minutes as the game finished goalless. Melbourne victory's subpar start to the season has continued after having to come back from 1-0 down to salvage a draw against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Mitch Austin saw red early after receiving his 2nd yellow card for a childish offence. Oriol Riera proving to be one of the better signings for the season as he added yet another goal to his tally for the year. He couldn't add more as Lawrence Thomas denied him from the spot, Thomas Deng grabbing the goal for victory just 5 minutes later, salvaging a point for Kevin Muscat's side. Attendance rose this week thanks to 21,500 fans getting out to the Melbourne victory game against the Western Sydney Wanderers, and a substantial increase after the dip last week, so the average came to 12,000 fans, but rather disappointingly, the Newcastle Jets only pulled in around 6,000 people into the stadium. And sure, they're playing the Wellington Phoenix, who is currently sit bottom of the ladder, but the form that they're in with Roy O'Donovan scoring the way he is, you kind of expect a few more fans to get out there and support their team. So despite this disappointment, let me know your player of the round and also your highlight of the round. Let me know in the comments below, hit me up on Twitter, it's @Seb_Quinn. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more football news.